you guys are going to find that guidance is a tricky thing. You know, we've been programmed that we need to guide. And yeah, you're going to find when it comes to children that guidance is almost impossible to give. But we'll get into that. Very tricky business, guiding. Because what have you got to do to guide somebody? If you want to guide water, what have you got to do? You got to create walls. Okay? I would urge you to use another term. Offer. Or example. But we have these concepts in our head that we need to guide people. And most people really don't want guidance. They want freedom. And where guidance is implemented, particularly as a parent, even though your guidance is intended as guidance, what most people want, even children, is freedom. And what most guidance is perceived as is control. And if your children are above 12 years of age, then the last thing they want is guidance. And every day that goes by past the 12th birthday, guidance becomes more and more of an infringement on freedom. So the secret is to remember how to get a horse into a trailer. You can push it and get the shit kicked out of you, or you can put a carrot in front of its nose and just walk in and the horse will follow you in every time. So just remember, when it comes to guiding, it's usually like pushing. Real guidance is leading, right? When I was a paratrooper, they don't force you to be a paratrooper, because if they do, then what they have is a bunch of scared idiots with weapons in their hands, which causes their own soldiers to get killed by their own soldiers. So you can't become a paratrooper unless you volunteer. The point being is, you're jumping into the battlefield as a paratrooper. You jump right into enemy territory. And that's something that you've got to decide to do on your own. True life, true freedom, is cutting your own path through the jungle. But as parents, we always fear that our children might take some of the paths that we've taken and get bit by some of the same snakes, same lions, and same tigers that got us. But the reality of it is, we all took a body on. We all came here to dance with the lions and the tigers and the snakes, because that's what life is. So when it comes to guiding somebody, I've learned this the hard way, that you have to really be very careful about when your guidance is actually your fear, as opposed to being their gift. See, when we have children, it's our natural tendency to think that we are responsible for them and that we own them. Right? But that's really not how it works. We forget that it's just as much our pleasure to have the child as it is for them to have life through us. Like a dog. You buy a dog because you want the pleasure of having a dog. You don't buy a dog because you think that the dog needs to learn how to cross the street and how to pee in a certain corner of your house and how to become a human, right? You don't feel sorry for a dog because it's not human and say, oh, you poor dog, let me teach you how to be human. A year from now, I'll have you pooping just right and eating broccoli because red meat's bad for you. Well, now you got a dog that's been captured, and a dog that doesn't feel like a dog anymore and is caught between two worlds. And the same thing happens when you start trying to guide people, especially your children, because they really want to be more like dogs. They want to run around, sniff the bushes, piss on things, get in trouble, and be free, right? So the same way, we don't sit our dog down after it comes back from having sex with the next door neighbor's dog and say, now do you realize you've just sinned? Because the dog would look at you like you're an idiot anyhow. And most people, I'll leave a blank spot there. Right? So remember, when it comes to children, they're a lot more like dogs in that they need their own freedom, and that what we think is right for them is only what we think is right for them because it's governed by what we are afraid of more than it is what they need. So when you're about to give somebody guidance, ask yourself this question: am I giving this guidance because I'm afraid? Or am I giving this guidance because it's an opportunity for them?